From Muzan's insane love story to the tragic secret behind Tengen having 3 wives, here are 12 secret and future couples in Demon Slayer explained. Starting off with a romance that 99.5% of Demon Slayer fans don't even know about, which is between Sanemi and Kanae. They are both bound by the tragedy of losing their families to demons. As older siblings, they shared a deep sense of responsibility, each willing to sacrifice everything to protect their younger siblings. Their connection began when Masachika brought Sanemi to the Butterfly Mansion to treat his wounds. Kanae, despite Sanemi's cold demeanor, saw the kind heart hidden beneath his rough exterior. She became one of the few who truly understood him, even calming his anger during their first Hashira meeting in chapter 168, where she could be seen holding his arm while the other Hashiras scolded him for disrespecting Kagaya. In the light novel titled The Wind's Telltale Signs, Kanae's gentle nature is shown to have left a lasting impression on Sanemi. The fanbook even hints at this connection, with Gyome, aka the Shipper Pillar, suggesting that Sanemi may have loved Kanae. This theory is further supported by a moment in episode 25 of the anime, where Kanae gives Kanao a coin and tells her she will change too when she falls in love. The word too implies Kanae herself might have someone she loves, possibly Sanemi. Tragically, Kanae was killed by Doma before they could confess their feelings for each other. Even after her death, Sanemi stayed connected to her memory, often checking in on Shinobu. Man, that is so emotional. But that was only one of the 12 secret couples we'll be covering in this video. Let's move on to one of the best ones, Tanjiro and Kanao. Unlike some romances in Demon Slayer, theirs didn't heat up quickly. Instead, Tanjiro and Kanao's bond grew gradually through subtle moments. Kanao, initially reserved and reliant on her coin to make decisions, started changing after meeting Tanjiro. His words, telling her to make her own choices, left a deep mark on her, slowly making her fall in love with him. Talk about Riz breathing, am I right? Anyway, their relationship concluded beautifully in the final chapters, where we found out they got married and had a family. While we didn't see exactly how many kids they had, we did get to see their 2 grandchildren, which is pretty heartwarming. But Kanao wasn't the only one charmed by Tanjiro's Riz breathing. Aoi was too. However, once she realized Kanao had feelings for him, Aoi decided to settle down with Inosuke. But of course, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, it is Inosuke after all. They first met when Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Nezuko, and Inosuke arrived at the Butterfly Estate after the Battle of Mount Natagumo. Aoi and Inosuke trained together, and while nothing major happened at first, their bond began to grow. Then, after the battle in the Entertainment District arc, Aoi gets emotional over Inosuke's injuries. She still can't help but bicker with him, calling him a moron, while he calls her a pipsqueak. And several chapters later, we can see Aoi scolding Inosuke for stealing food, giving him his own tray. A gesture that makes Inosuke blush with gratitude. Fast forward to the final chapters, and we see a picture of Inosuke giving acorns to Aoi while she smiles, confirming they ended up together. It's later confirmed in the volume 23 extras that Inosuke and Aoi had 2 great-grandsons, one of whom is Aoba. Next, we have Zenitsu and Nezuko. While Zenitsu can be a bit over the top and awkward around girls, there is actually a huge secret behind this. It was revealed that Zenitsu's past with women wasn't exactly smooth. In fact, he once had 7 girlfriends, which left him with a hefty debt of 600,000 yen. This financial burden, combined with his complicated history, made Zenitsu develop a fear of women. However, all of that changed when he met Nezuko. Her kindness and strength slowly chipped away at his insecurities. Zenitsu began to grow into a more confident and caring person, and after the war against Muzan, Zenitsu and Nezuko eventually got married and started a family, having 4 great-grandchildren, 2 of whom are Toko Akatsuma and Yoshiteru Akatsuma, along with 2 unnamed great-granddaughters. While Zenitsu and Nezuko had a happy ending, this couple wasn't so lucky. Yorichi and Uta's story ended in heartbreak. They met when Yorichi found Uta alone in a paddy field, mourning the loss of her family. Her warmth and chatter perfectly complemented Yorichi's quiet demeanor, and over the next 10 years, their bond grew into a deep love that eventually led to marriage. When Uta became pregnant, they were filled with joy and anticipation, but tragedy struck in her final month. While Yorichi left briefly to fetch a midwife for the delivery, a demon attacked, killing Uta and their unborn child. Devastated, Yorichi never remarried. He later joined the Demon Slayer Corps, carrying a bag made from Uta's kimono as a constant reminder of the quiet, peaceful life he had dreamed of sharing with her. Dang, that is so heartbreaking. But an even more heartbreaking couple would be Obanai and Mitsuri. Despite Obanai's fear of women due to his traumatic upbringing, he fell in love with Mitsuri at first sight, captivated by her kindness and warmth. His love ran so deep that the data books reveal he even knew the names of all 4 of Mitsuri's cats. After the battle against Muzan, Mitsuri lay in Obanai's arms, wrapped in his haori, as both felt their lives slip away. She apologized for not being more useful, but Obanai reassured her, reminding her of the joy and kindness she had brought to others. Mitsuri confessed her love and asked if he would marry her in another life. He promised to make her happy and protect her. When they passed, Obanai held Mitsuri so tightly that they had to be buried together. Fast forward to chapter 205. It's revealed that they were reincarnated as a married couple running a restaurant, fulfilling their promise of a happy life together and raising 5 children. Now that is true love. But not all Demon Slayer couples got a second chance. Yushiro was once a human suffering from a severe illness, which Tamayo treated by turning him into a demon to save his life. Over time, Yushiro fell deeply in love with her. However, as revealed in the Demon Slayer fanbook, Tamayo couldn't return his feelings, as she remained devoted to the memory of her late husband and children. Despite this, they made a heartfelt promise. If Tamayo were ever reincarnated, Yushiro would marry her, and they would spend eternity together. Tamayo agreed with a gentle smile. Tragically, this promise was never fulfilled. Muzan killed Tamayo, and even 100 years after the war, Yushiro could still be seen painting portraits of her face, clinging to her memory. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that Yushiro remains the only demon alive after the war, destined to outlive everyone and endure his grief alone. Before we move on to the next romance, if you're having a great time so far and want to be entered in our video shoutout giveaway, simply subscribe and comment "I subbed" and you'll be entered. This shoutout giveaway goes to @CatherineCulture 8744. Thanks for being part of the family. Let's get back to a cute but heartbreaking romance. Now we gotta talk about Giyu and Shinobu's romance that had subtle hints but never bloomed. Despite Giyu's stoic nature and Shinobu's teasing, their bond ran deeper. Shinobu often defended Giyu, like during the Hashira meeting when others criticized him. In Giyu Tomioka Gaiden, it was revealed that she was the only one who made him smile, showing how well she understood him. Even Gyome noted how much they enjoyed talking, and we all know how Gyome is almost never wrong when it comes to shipping. However, their story ended tragically with Shinobu's death, leaving Giyu to quietly mourn the other person who truly understood him, which is just super sad. Speaking of sad, we have to talk about Akaza's love story, which is undeniably heartbreaking. Before becoming a demon, Akaza was Hakuji, a boy who endured a harsh childhood filled with poverty and violence. His life took a turn when Keizo, a kind martial artist, took him in and gave him purpose. During this time, Hakuji fell deeply in love with Keizo's gentle and fragile daughter, Koyuki. He promised to marry her and worked tirelessly to ensure her happiness. However, like many couples in the series, tragedy struck. A rival dojo poisoned both Keizo and Koyuki, leaving Hakuji shattered. Overwhelmed by grief and rage, he slaughtered all 67 members of the rival dojo, a brutal act that caught Muzan's attention. Turned into a demon, Akaza never let go of Koyuki's memory, with his compass needle technique inspired by her beloved hairpin. In his final moments, the memories of his past life came rushing back, and in an act of redemption, he chose to end his existence, finding peace as he reunited with Koyuki in death. Now let's talk about the weirdest couple in the series, crows. Yeah, you heard that right. In one of the Taisho-era secrets, it's revealed that after the battle with Muzan, Muichiro's crow, Ginko, became weak and sickly. She was comforted by Tanjiro's crow, Matsuemon, and the two eventually got married. Now let's talk about Tengen Uzui and his 3 wives. Why 3, you ask? Well, there's a secret behind it. As part of his clan's tradition, a shinobi had to marry 3 wives chosen by their father, but Tengen's wife, Suma, volunteered to take her sister's place. Tengen's past was tragic. He was raised as a ninja, went through brutal training, and was forced to kill his siblings under his father's orders. This burden eventually pushed him to leave his clan. Looking for a fresh start, he ran away with his wives, Makio, Hinatsuru, and Suma, all of whom he loves deeply. But Tengen isn't the one with the most wives in the show. Muzan holds that record, having over 5 wives. Crazy, right? But it gets even crazier. In the official Demon Slayer fanbook, it was revealed that Muzan, with his ability to read others' negative physiology, used his poisonous words to drive 4 of his wives to take their own lives. His 5th wife, Rei Kibutsuji, made her first appearance in the anime's first season, but after that, we never saw her again. The first fanbook revealed that Muzan killed Rei's husband to take advantage of his wealth and business. However, after Tanjiro blew his cover, it's likely Muzan killed her too, which is just savage. Now those are some crazy romances, but if you're looking for something even crazier, then click on this video where I uncover every secret you didn't know about in Demon Slayer. Go on, click it!